Miami Mike McDaniel's confident that Achane will be ready for week 1. He's sitting his running back who has a calf injury as a precautionary measure so that it doesn't become a bigger issue. But we'll talk about that and more. JJ going to return to practice this week. Tet McMillan is dealing with an injury, and Matthew Stafford back at practice, playing about 26 plays. Looked pretty good, but there's some limitations there still. And Sean McVay said that he's feeling optimistic, but he's not putting any sort of timetable on a full, return to practice. A lot to go over here, a lot to unpack, a lot of panic Peters are out there on the Devon Achane front. We're going to ease your mind a little bit. And then, of course, Tet McMillan, a lot of people getting really concerned. And then JJ excitement, the Fantasy Football Show breaking news edition. We go live when news breaks. That show begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
So Achane is dealing with a calf injury, and for those that don't know, calf injuries can sometimes be, not always, but can sometimes be an indicator of, something else going on in the leg. And I don't think that's the case here. Again, not always. Usually with older players, younger players tend to get away with a whole lot more when it comes to like a calf injury and not having it turn into something bigger. But as we've seen with Halliburton in the NBA and all the Achilles tears in the NBA and all the Achilles tears in the NFL, even from the Greenlaw Super Bowl Achilles tear where the Niner player just ran onto the field. He just planted and ran onto the field, tore his Achilles tendon. There's always concern about players tearing that Achilles tendon. Now, I will say the lighter you are, there's different reasons for me to feel really optimistic that this is not a situation where his Achilles is saying, hey, Cav, fire off and let him know we're not good down here. And that's what Aaron Rodgers' calf strain was before he tore his Achilles. That's what Halliburton's calf strain was before he tore his Achilles. Now, anything could happen. Even a young player can tear an Achilles. This is why you take precautions. This is why Achane's sitting, because he has a calf strain. Nothing more than the calf injury. It's not considered to be a big tear or any sort of tear that's going to require surgery or any tear that's concerning. It's just a matter of let's rest him as long as we can so that we have no issues walking into the season. This is not Achane's injury prone. This is not Achane's not going to hold up. This is not an I told you so show where people call in and say, I told you that Achane was going to get injured. Achane is a top 5 running back. Achane, if he drops an ADP, we're taking advantage of said droppage, and we're doing it live, and we're cooking.
Let him cook.
Achane is the man. His haters call him small,
but he is 9 feet tall.
Don't worry about Achane. Don't worry about Achane. And if anybody's scared to draft him, you send your team over to me, and I'll take it over for you, and I'll draft Achane, because this is ridiculous, the kind of panic I see building here with this situation. Do I run away from Achane like a scared little baby, Smitty? Smitty, should I be scared? Should I be a scared Scotty? Achane is a monster. Achane's a top 5 running back. Achane is really a first-round worthy player that we're getting at the top of 2. And dare I say, this is probably going to drop his ADP. I imagine ADP goes from, really he goes in like the 10, it depends on the league, but like ADP of 10 through 12. I venture to say this will probably drop him into the 14 range. I don't think it'll make him fall too far, but this becomes a second round piece of gold that you can now couple with players you couldn't couple with before. So if you're not drafting on Underdog, what are you doing? Number one, Underdog allows you to deploy so many different strategies that emerge from the ADP movement. So hit that link. I'll pin the link in the live chat. We're going to be drafting tonight on Underdog. Join me tonight on Underdog, and we'll see where Achane falls. Because if Achane falls, Stafford out there, by the way, Stafford out there looking good. Stafford's out there running around. He's not just like throwing in like a locked in position, feet to the floor, no running. He's doing bootleg type work. Stafford looked fine. He's running faster and more mobile than Joe Flacco out there for the Cleveland Browns. I'm looking at the footage of him now running around, and Stafford looks fine. He's smiling. He's throwing. I have all the confidence in the world Stafford's going to be ready for week one. And if he wasn't, for whatever reason, suffers a setback, which could happen, let me go over to Stafford real quickly. We'll come back to Achane in a second, but I want to, while I'm on this topic and I'm watching Stafford throw, Stafford's going to come back in week one. If he doesn't, for whatever reason, suffers a setback, and I believe a setback would be required for this to go off the rails, Stetson Bennett looks pretty damn good. And I think Stetson Bennett would probably feed Puka and Adams enough that it wouldn't affect the Kyren Williams game at all. I think Kyren would still average 4.5 or higher under a Stetson Bennett-led offense. McVay's going to turn Stetson Bennett into a much better player than he might even be. And we might not know. He'll be propped up, kind of like Goff gets propped up by Ben Johnson over in Detroit for so many years. McVay does make you a better quarterback. McVay's system makes Stafford a better quarterback. Not saying Stafford doesn't earn his accolades on his own, but you don't put him in this Rams situation. He probably would not have survived at his age as long as he survived. But Stafford looks really good. I'm watching him throw. I'm not concerned at all. He's out there playing 26 plays, rolling around, running and throwing the ball on the run, doing some jogging. And it's like he's sprinting full speed, but he looks fine. He looks smooth. He looks elusive. He looks, at the speed he's running, he looks very, very fluid. Not concerned. So this is great news. Stafford back at practice. Back to the Achane stuff real quickly. So we covered the Stafford stuff. It wasn't much to discuss anyway. But as for Achane, we need to take advantage of this ADP drop. If you're drafting on Underdog, and again we'll draft tonight, and you've been taking Achane at the 1-2 turns, so 12, 11, 10, 13, and you have yet to be able to pair him with, let's say, a CeeDee Lamb, or let's say a Gibbs, or a Genty in some cases, because Genty might go 7 or 8, and you can't get Achane and Genty together oftentimes. Now is the time to deploy that. Now is the time to go grab the Achane shares in the mid-second if you can get away with it. If you're in a league where someone's a panic Peter, go trade for Achane. Go buy him on the cheap in Dynasty, in a redraft league that's already drafted, whatever the case may be. And if we head over to the waiver wire board, we've got to discuss how high a guy named Ollie Gordon climbs, probably up into this area. Rashard Smith now moves into the one spot. Not Rashard Smith. Krosky Merritt moves into the one spot. Rashard Smith moves down to the 2 spot. Let me move this over. This is the preemptive week 1 waiver wire board. This is the board that scares your league mates. Your league mates wet their pants and need a change of underwear when they realize that your ammunition walking into week 1 is the ammunition they want to acquire walking out of week 1. You have the playbook. You have the Gray's Book Sports Almanac. You have potentially the solution to your problems coming out of week 1, and you have it early. This is the preemptive week 1 waiver board. Right now, looking at this thing, Krosky Merritt's by far and away the top pickup of the entire board. If you need to grab a running back right now and Krosky Merritt's out there, don't hesitate. The full load drop is in order.
Initiate full load drop.
Because quite arguably, Krosky Merritt could be the top pickup of the year. I'm not saying that he is for sure. We can't know that obviously at this stage in the game, but there is a good chance that this man is a 9 out of 10 in odds of being the best out of the year. And we're talking about it this early on. So if we look at this board and we say, Smitty, what are the odds that Krosky Merritt's the top pickup of the year? Right now, I'm saying 9 out of 10. Now, we'll have several 9s out of 10s on the year. We might have a 10 out of 10, and he might end up being a 10 out of 10. Doesn't mean just because we put him at 9, other players can't be put at 9. So this is this is a player that you must grab. So going back to the board real quickly, Ollie Gordon's climbing. Mitchell's still very valuable. Now, Ollie Gordon doesn't just become the top pickup of the week. I know some of you want to dig through the waiver wire and find your pot of gold, and you want to will it to happen. This is still a player that Ollie Gordon that is still competing with Keaton Mitchell. He's still competing with Dylan Sampson, who now might be more of the in starting position than anybody anticipated with the new news that Judkins is not necessarily going to get signed really quickly by the Browns, and that the league's still investigating their own investigation. Rashard Smith is still a league winner. Krosky Merritt's the top pickup of the year right now. He's the lead. We can't put him at 10 yet because we gotta tread lightly here until we get an announcement that he's for sure gonna be the future. They're not making any other sort of trade or move, and we don't want to blow the 10 wad right now before the season starts. But a 9 is in order. The warning signs are here for all of you that are missing out on the opportunity of adding Krosky Merritt. This is a 9 out of 10. Quite arguably close to a 10 out of 10 for the top pickup of the year, and we haven't even begun yet. Make yourself the person that the name comes up when your league mates go to type in Krosky Merritt after week 1 happens and they see he's on your roster already. Make your league mates run to the waiver wire tonight and they pull up Krosky Merritt and your name is sitting right next to his. You're attached. You own him. You have him. Ollie Gordon definitely moves up. Woody Marks is still a nice add. So we'll put the Krosky Merritt up at the top here. Let me see if I can move this around. Wright is still an option. I'm not saying he's not in the mix. Taj Brooks, Giddens, Chubb, Corum, Hunter. I'm just looking at this, see if we need to make any movement here. Vidal. Who else needs to be added here that's not on the waiver board that needs to be here? Tesla is certainly climbing my ranks. I love Tesla right now. Horton's fantastic. He's the number 1 wide receiver add by far right now. Horton's a monster. He's banged up right now, but he'll be fine. Royals is nice value. Thornton Jr. could be the number 1 wide receiver on this list. He's still right up here. In fact, I think this is good to leave it this way. Pat Bryant's climbing. I'm going to put him up in this tier up here. He was down in that lower tier. I want to go ahead and move Keenan Allen, Yoshi Voss, Watkins. Everybody wants Watkins. Watkins is going to the bottom. Who cares? Everybody wanting Watkins on this list so badly. Everyone's looking for that pot of gold hiding somewhere. Yoshi Voss is nice. Keenan Allen is a body. He might pull in some footballs. Lane's interesting. Chiz, we maybe move the Chizmeister up to the top of this list here on the lower tier guys. Ao Manor I like a lot. Ao Manor is climbing my board. He's always been somebody I've really liked. We'll put him right here. Tootin and Shipley. Tootin's not available in leagues, bro. What are you talking about? Tootin. Tootin gets drafted like in, I want to say Tootin's ADP. What kind of league are you in where Tootin's available? Tootin gets drafted probably around, I would say, let's see here. Let me pull up the ADP data. Tootin's not a guy that you can pick up in even a remotely competitive league, my boy. Tootin's got an ADP of 130 overall. You can't get Tootin anywhere near free agency. What other players might be missing here? Brashard Smith, Royals, a pickup. I'm going Brashard Smith if I had to choose. Dart is probably right up here now with Milroe. I haven't gotten to the QB movement yet. We're moving this around on the fly. The Dart probably right here. Sanders, Milton. Willis is really nice. Just like random option here in Superflex. These are mostly Superflex questions here. Arroyo, Gadsden, Fannin, Ben Sinnott. I think Ben Sinnott flies up boards later. Mechie, yeah, I guess. But, I mean, everybody's so high on Mechie right now. I don't understand it. He's a solid player, but, I mean, his team didn't even want him. You know, like, where are you going to put him? Like, next to Lambert Smith, maybe? So let me use this Horton graphic here to change that to, I guess we'll put Mechie here. Mechie's okay. If Mechie's starting for you, you're probably in trouble. You know, I don't know. Let's see, Mechie. Chisholm higher. Yeah, we could put Chisholm in the top group. I'd probably say Chisholm, maybe the Chismeister maybe goes, right next to Thornton. Maybe you could even put him, I don't know, Royals is going to be pretty good, man. I'm going to put him right here. I'll put him right here next to Thornton. We'll kind of make him like a little bit of a tie. Because I think Thornton's still a monster. It's just we haven't seen what we need to see yet to like be like, hey, let's cement that in. Noel, I don't know, bro. Noel, sure, but I don't know. Malik Washington, no thanks. Bond does need to be put on here. Bond's one player that climbed this board really quickly. We'll put Bond right here below Pat Bryant because he's still got a ways to climb up and a lot to learn. Bond can't, it's going to take some time, but Bond definitely needs to be on here. What other players do we not have on here that need to be on here? Okay, let's go back to this anyway. So Ollie Gordon, the point of why I brought this board up to begin with was to say that Ollie Gordon climbs this board, and you got to get excited about Ollie Gordon and what he can bring to the table if Achane did need to step out for a game or two. Let's say Achane had a setback and he didn't start week 1 and 2. Ollie Gordon's a touchdown threat. Ollie Gordon's the must cuff. I like Wright, but Ollie Gordon is that big-bodied goal line back that I think that Mike McDaniel wants in this offense to be his counterpart to Achane. And he has no effect on Achane's value. It only makes Achane more effective if you got Ollie Gordon smashing. Woody Marks is on the board already, Bob. He's already on the board. He's right here, my broski. He's right in front of your face. Okay. Let's go ahead and attack the rest of this news and open up the phone lines. And I've got a few super chats I need to handle. Achane, don't panic. Make sure you got Ollie Gordon if you don't have him. JJ's going to be back at practice this week, so we'll have to play that by ear in terms of what that looks like and what to expect. But Kevin O'Connell said that Jefferson would be back at practice this week. He's dealing with that hamstring. It's a hamstring injury to the other hamstring. When I said the phone lines would be open, did I say I was opening the phone lines right now? I don't think so. So hang tight, my boy. And then the Ted McMillan news is not what you wanted to hear today, but Ted McMillan is now struggling with a hamstring injury as well. We've got that right here. According to Panthers coach Dave Canales, Tetero McMillan hamstring might not play Thursday night. And at least you're hearing things like might not play instead of, he hopefully will be ready for week 1. However, let's see here. A trade. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought there was some news. I thought there was some trade news. Cliff Kingsbury walking out of the tunnel right now, or walking through the tunnel. Can't wait to see JD5. You know, JD5 put on about 6 to 8 pounds of muscle. Just so excited for JD5's year 2. Everybody giving Bo Nix and Penix Jr. and Caleb Williams and Drake May all this latitude to get better and say, oh, what a big step up they're going to make this year. But nobody talks about JD5's potential increase in value and how he can get better. It's always just, he was so good that he can't get any better. This is what he is. JD5 might take a whole nother step forward. JD5 might become the Michael Vick of our generation. Michael Vick was a cheat code in fantasy football at the QB position. A total cheat code. JD5 might become that cheat code this year. And I love that people don't think so. Ted McMillan, monitor the situation. Not good to have a hamstring injury, but again, the verbiage makes me feel a little bit optimistic that it's not something crazy yet. So let's hang tight, but just know that he's got that hammy. Definitely should be kind of a slap to the face and reminder not to take him in the 3rd or 4th round. And some of you might be saying, Smitty, yeah, he's going in the 6th or 7th round on ESPN. But on Underdog, a lot of you are drafting this man at the 3-4 turn. And that link is pinned if you want to draft tonight. You can't be taking Ted McMillan at the 3-4 turn. You just can't. It's not smart business. It's not how you draft a winning team. Ted McMillan's good, but Igbuka's better, and Igbuka's going in round 6-7. So why Ted McMillan's going in 3-4 is beyond me. It's head scratching, and it makes me frustrated because I don't like tearing this kid down a notch because I like him. But I like him in 6, 7, 8. That's where he wins a league. He could win a league in round 7. He could be league winning, kind of, in round number 6. But when you take him at the 3-4 turn, you're punting your season away. So stop doing it. Stop taking him in 4. He has no business in 4. He deserves to be in 6 or 7. If you have to take him in late 5, I understand it. But if you want to win your league, you don't take Tet McMillan or even Igbuka, who is my potential one of my big league winners. You don't take him in 3. It just doesn't make any sense. The fact that I see people going, Smitty's going in 7, and then I see people doing the 3-4 turn thing, what are you doing? Absolutely a devastating move for your fantasy football roster construction. But Tet McMillan, harsh reminder that you overinvest and something happens, you're cooked. If this guy does end up tweaking this hamstring again when he comes back and he misses the first 4 games of the season, gets a late start, any team you drafted Tet McMillan at like 4-round territory, let alone 3-4, you're cooked. You're done. You're Smitty disapproved.
You've just been Smitty disapproved.
Achane, in recap, Achane, calf injury, sitting out as a precaution, expected to be ready for week 1, not considered a concern. You just always got to be careful with calf injuries because they sometimes, a lot of times lately, lead to Achilles tears. So this is smart. It doesn't mean it's bad. They're just resting him. JJ, he should return to practice this week. Very concerned about him because of his consistent hamstring, the threat of his hamstring. It's the other hamstring, though. But what's going on with him with his hamstrings? Maybe there's going to be some later news about like he needs to work on some thigh strength or whatever the case may be. Because sometimes if you have like a stronger lower part of your leg, your calves are bigger, your thighs aren't as strong. And this guy is a lanky, speedy guy. And over time, he might need to work on some of the balance of his leg muscles or something. There's always something that maybe attributes to consistent injuries of the same kind. And the reason we know that is one reason we know that is that when Christian Watson kept struggling with hamstring injuries, they did some very expensive $20,000, I believe, testing on his legs, and they realized that his one leg was 30% smaller than his other leg. His thigh was 30% smaller than the other thigh, and it was causing a lot of compensation injuries. And so you do wonder if there's something going on with JJ that's causing him to have these hamstring concerns. But he is returning to practice this week. We should know if we were in the clear within about a week's time. He could have any sort of recidivism or re-injury within about a 5 to 12 day window. So we cannot expect him just because he has one good day of practice, he won't run out there and all of a sudden pull up limp. We need a good, like almost 2-week window to know if he's in the clear. Just know that as we tread lightly through the next week or two. Tet McMillan, as I just said, is dealing with a hamstring. He's sitting. He probably won't play in this preseason game coming up. So, and then Stafford's back at practice, 26 plays, looked good. I watched the footage of him running around. He looks really, really good. Phone lines are open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Panthers, appreciate you with the super chat. Ted just has soreness, nothing serious. You let me handle it, Panthers. You let the professionals handle this. You don't know more than I do on the topic, and I know you have a Panther logo in your no one's listening to your Panther update. Just letting you know. But I appreciate you helping out on that. Thank you for the super chat. But you're not breaking the news. You are disqualified because of your bias. Can only gold 1Z Can only gold 1Z Garendo or Bill? The answer is Bill, no matter what you're trying to say there. And appreciate you, my boy, dropping the super chat. But Bill has got to be the pickup. Mute yourself real quickly, callers, if you don't mind. Bill's the pickup over Grendo. Bill's the pickup over Jaden Blue. Bill's the pickup over a handful of players because Bill is kind of leading the midseason monster charge right now. He's the leader of the midseason monsters right now. Right now, him and Charbonnet still feel like the leaders of the group. I think, of course, Bigsby's going to try and be a co-leader, co-captain of this board. But right now, Krosky merits the guy. PPR 12-man at 1.10 Neighbors or Achane or London. I'd probably go London for safety, Achane for upside. Definitely. Let me merge. Caller, just mute yourself real quickly. I'll be right with you. Thank you for the super chat, Omar. And then let's see here. Let me merge this call. Caller, mute yourself. I'll be right with you. All right. Omar says, what's Omar saying here? Omar says PPR 12. Oh, that's the one I just answered. Thank you, Omar. Appreciate you. BBQ dropping a super wad on screen. Says Stafford is a gamer, tough as F, and he's got a special mattress he sleeps on with wifey, plus the Airstream hookah lounge. Thank you, BBQ, for the added support on the Stafford news. And yeah, I'm feeling confident. And again, Stetson Bennett looks so good that I almost don't think, I'm almost intrigued by what Stetson Bennett would look like in the offense. Caller, mute yourself. I'll be right with you. And then let's see here. We got this one here. I have the 10th in a 10-man looking like BTJ Achane, Genty Achane, Nico Achane, or Amon-Ra St. Brown Achane. Which one do you prefer? It's like splitting hairs, bro. If you think you can get amazing, and it's 10-man, amazing wide receivers still, like Garrett Wilson in 4, MHJ in 4, Debo and Hunter and Igbuka, all by going running back, like I did in my 10-man league that I've been playing in 20 years, then I'm going to go RB. So Genty Achane for me. Or, bro, you could go Genty Bucky. There's nothing wrong with that if you're wanting to avoid any sort of potential injury risk, which I'm not concerned about. But what up, Smitty? 12-man, I had the 4th pick, likely getting Lamb or Gibbs. Unlikely Henderson falls to me on the way back in the 4th. Take him in the 3rd, of course. In the 2nd, no. In the 3rd, Hendy is almost a lock in the 3rd for me at this point, bro. Just almost an absolute lock. The odds of him not returning 3rd-round value at this point is very slim to none, unless he gets hurt. Hendy and Pollard or Judkins for Hendy and Pollard for Judkins and Hampton. Hendy, I like Hendy more than Hampton. And Judkins and Pollard, I don't like Judkins. Getting Hendy, absolutely take the Hendy side. I don't want Judkins at all. I mean, would I take him in like the round 13 territory? Sure, but he's going in like 9-10 right now, and he shouldn't. Sorry if it was covered already. Thoughts on the Bears? Caleb and the offense look sharp. Will we still off them? Bro, Caleb had one bad drive and one good drive. And he played against 2s and 3s, and nothing's changed for me. Like, the amount of people that thought they were going to come in, I'm not saying you, but the amount of people that thought they were going to come into that live stream after and play like a gotcha game. Bro's playing against 2s and 3s, and I'm not saying Zacchaeus made a nice move, and took that football into the end zone himself. Caleb didn't deliver it into the end zone. Not that Caleb didn't have some good throws on the surface level. Like, watching him, he stayed in the pocket, he stayed on schedule, and he delivered the football, and it looked solid. But he's going up against 2s and 3s. This is not some celebration time. And then he was 0 for 3 on his final 3 attempts, and they were all 3 pretty bad passes. Caller, mute yourself real quickly. I'll be right with you. Phone lines are full right now, guys, so you're going to have to call back when I open them up again. So the phone line's all full. Everybody on the line's good, but I'm not taking any more calls right now, just so you know. But no, I haven't changed my tune at all. If anything, Bagent looked really good. Bagent looked better if you're going to use the measurement of, playing against 2s and 3s. Bagent looked even better than Caleb. And Bagent at one point had some upside to be a starter in this league, and then it fell flat real quickly. But look, I'm just telling you right now, I think Caleb can do okay. I think Ben Johnson can turn a pumpkin into a jack-o'-lantern, but he can't turn a pumpkin into a prince, and he's not going to be one. This is the number 1 overall player, Caleb Williams, and he didn't deserve to be even the 4th or 5th drafted quarterback. Penix is better. Nix is better. Drake May is better. Of course, JD5 is better. I mean, we're talking about him being maybe QB 5 or 6 in the draft class, and he went number 1 overall. No matter what he does, it was one of the worst picks the Bears could make. This is such a reach. They passed on such an amount of talent to go get Caleb Williams, who we hope, you hope, everybody hopes can be good. All he's got to be is good. He's never going to be elite. He could be maybe good with Ben Johnson. Maybe. We'll have to see. Following up on Hendy in the 3rd round from the 4th spot. Draft probably looking like Lamb, Chase Brown, Hendy. Who would you target for? Garrett Wilson, MHJ, players like that. And then in round 5, 6, I'm looking at Harvey, Hunter, Debo, Igbuka, Mahomes, Burrow, if you can get him in the earlier part of what we're talking about. Thank you for that super chat. All right. Let me clear off this phone line. We got a nasty clicking going on. The more people I add, the more clicking happens. So real quickly, let me just go over to 604 rapid fire. I'm not going over your whole team. 604, you're live. What can I do for you? What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, Smitty, it's Angus here. I'm calling from Canada.
What's up, Angus?
Thanks for the show. I just had a question about keepers. So I'll just explain my format real quick. It's full PPR, and they do 3 points for 225 yards, 300 yards, and 4 points for 400 yards.
I can't go through all, bro. You got rapid fire. Rapid fire. That's not rapid fire.
All right, yeah. So either keep MHJ or Lamar. No pick cost.
It's one QB.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't blame you for wanting Lamar because he goes in that MHJ territory. So I would say trust your gut based on your feel of the league and the quarterbacks and how it flows and how the wide receivers are going to be available. I think you got to use that judgment call, but they're in the same ADP. So you got to kind of go with what you know in terms of the flow and the expectation level of how quarterbacks will fly off the board. I think if you believe you can get a competent wide receiver like Hunter a lot later, Debo, I'm okay with the Lamar pick. However, I'm also okay with getting a MHJ, getting a later quarterback, and still getting Harvey, Hunter, and those guys. So my thinking, if you tell me
12, so I get 2 back-to-backs.
If you tell me Mahomes is going to go for sure in round 5 or 6, or you think you could get him in 6, or Bo Nix in 7 or 8, I'm liking Bo Nix and Penix a little more than Lamar if I'm getting MHJ. Then again, I guess you could say, like, is MHJ my favorite player at that territory? Not necessarily. So it's not like he's my favorite pick right there where you're having to keep him. So it's kind of a tough spot. What's your feel? Is Lamar league winner in this format, and are you going to be more likely to get a good receiver than to get a good quarterback later?
Well, basically my feel is, I won the league with Lamar last year, so I'm picking 12, so I get back-to-back. And the only reason I'm hesitating to move off MHJ, I picked him first overall last year, so just that sunk cost type thinking. Yeah, I think with the 2 picks at the end of the first, I think I'd have a better chance at grabbing maybe some receivers I like better, maybe some running backs, and then I just don't have to worry about QB. That's the way I'm leaning right now.
So you'd have to take him at 3.1, you're saying?
So it's a 4-keeper league. My other keepers are Gibbs, Kyron, Nico. So this is basically the round 5.
Oh, okay. I'm going to say this, bro. Given that those keepers you already have, I'm going to say get Lamar because –
all right.
Yeah, that's like a 4th rounder almost at this point. I like the Lamar value. If you were talking about like not having those wide receivers already, you have Nico, Lamar, and Kyron, you said, and who else?
Nico, Kyron, Gibbs.
Yeah, bro, take Lamar. Yeah, stack that value. All right, later. Yeah, easy call.
Thanks, Smitty.
Yeah, he should have led with that. Maybe he did, and I didn't hear it. I don't know. $50 holler from Gregor. Gregor dropping a 50 wad on screen. Gregor, you are the man, the myth, the legend. Gregor, $50 holler.
Give me $50 holler.
Gregor says the following. He says, Dynasty PPR. Guys, I said the phone line's closed right now. I'll let you know when it's open. The people on hold are good, but they're not taking new calls yet. I'll let you know. I'll put the number on screen. Dynasty PPR league with 0.5 tight end premium. Can you ask the chat which side? McBride for Laporta and a 26 early first plus Brashard Smith. McBride for Laporta and a 26 first. I mean, early first, if you told me you guarantee me it's the 1.1, I could get behind that in Laporta. But if this is like number 4, number 5 even, I mean, McBride is probably the better option. But chat, vote on this one. We only have early 26 first rounder in Laporta or plus Brashard Smith or McBride. What does the chat think? Vote for Gregor, please. Gregor deserves your vote. I'm gonna lean toward McBride unless you guarantee me it's the 1.1 or 1.2. And even then, it's like, maybe, Gregor, we come back and have a conversation. I don't know that I'm locking it in yet. I'm just saying now we can sit down and discuss it. Unless it's the 1.1 or 1.2 and you don't feel that, then there's nothing to even discuss anyway, and you just close the door. Gregor with the $50 wad. Gregor, appreciate you, my boy. Gregor to the mother freaking moon. BBQ with another super chat says Burden at in Loveland looked good last night. I do like those guys. And look, doesn't matter how good Caleb is or bad Caleb is or whatever, they're going to throw the hell out of the ball. I don't know if it'll be consistently fed around, but Loveland and Burden will be pretty solid. And Odunze. But the thing is, like, which one? One, it's hard to know. I think that's where it gets spread around, and it's a little inconsistent. But in best ball, it's great. What's the highest you draft Hendy? Right now, I'm going to say 3.1 just to keep things at bay. I'm not saying that if the time came, we couldn't discuss, obviously, a higher ranking, but we have to be careful not to put, the cart so in front of the horse that you can't even connect it to anymore. Damn, Smitty, I'm not a homer. I keep it 100. You have a Panthers you have a Panthers logo. So I appreciate you, but you let me handle the news. You're sitting here telling me Tet's fine. You don't know Tet's fine. You have no information on that. Tet, you're saying Tet's just sore. He's okay. You don't know. That's your optimistic Oscar talking. Your optimistic Oscar self talking. Stop acting like you know Tet McMillan's fine. You don't know Tet McMillan's fine. You have no clue. So I appreciate you, but you don't know. So just calm down. I appreciate you. Garrett Wilson or MHJ. Garrett Wilson. Appreciate the overtime work. Thank you, Healing. I'd say Garrett Wilson. Panthers, I'm not mad at you. This is my resting face, all right? Don't take it personally. But when you say he's fine, it's soreness. I've got to correct the record because people are drafting and using this advice. And you're out there telling people it's sore, and are you giving him a little bit of a hamstring massage? Are you there as the trainer saying, this thing feels fine? We did some examinations. You weren't there. So I have to correct that. That's all I was doing, is saying don't listen to Panthers. He's got a Panthers logo. Of course it's soreness. It's not a tear of any kind. Nix, Genty, Hall, Harvey, ETN, Tootin, Krosky, Merritt, BTJ, Garrett Wilson, Tet McMillan, Adunze, Tillman, Kincaid. Rate my team. I would probably say I like the squad a lot. I like it a lot. I'd probably say a 7.9 out of 10 because it's a 10-man league. Maybe 8.0. Maybe 8.0. What I'm looking for from this team is that Hall or Harvey gets on their horse officially, and then we feel really good, and then you're in the 8s for sure. That's all you're waiting on. You also have Garrett Wilson needing to get on his horse, and we believe, right? Now, could you at some point upgrade Hall and Tet for one better player? That will put you like in the 8.5 to 8.9 zone, bro. So just keep on the lookout for that. And hold on, phone callers. I'll be right with you. Viral, appreciate your super chat. If I go running back, do you like in the third round Garrett Wilson, Hampton, or Hendy? I like Hendy better, but in a 10-man, you can easily go running back, and still have great receivers. So Hendy's I'm not afraid to take Hendy. With the new Rice news, who are you targeting in the fourth round? Worthy, Brees. I like, especially if I go RB, I'm going to go Worthy or preferably Garrett Wilson or MHJ. I do like Worthy there, and I'm not afraid to take a Rice. I'm not at all. Not saying it forward, but I'm still taking Rice. I'm just letting you know. And do you prefer Debo or Egbuka? I like Egbuka a little more right now over Debo, surprisingly. Egbuka might be a top 10 wide receiver this year. I truly believe that. Deep bench, JCM, Manungai, Wright, Horton, Thornton, Theo Johnson, Fryermuth. Can get Fannin, Tesla, Pat Bryant, Bond, or Burchard. Drop who for who? I dropped Theo Johnson or Fryermuth. If those are your bench players, I'll probably drop both of them. Unless you think you'll never be able to get another tight end off the waiver wire. I like in order. I like Burchard Smith, then Pat Bryant, then Tesla, or Burchard Smith, Tesla, Pat Bryant. So I'd probably drop both those guys. If you think you'll be fine picking up a tight end later, I'd grab Burchard Smith for sure. Bond's a little ways away, but I like him a lot. But we'll see what happens. I'd probably say Burchard Smith and Tesla for right now. Those are my two favorite players from that waiver wire group. Tesla could have some trade value. He's going to be a dog. People are going to love owning Tesla, and they'll trade for him. Rank these in the third. Kyron, McBride, Hampton, Hendy. I'd probably say Kyron, Hendy. No, I'll say Kyron and Hendy are tied. I'll say Hendy, Kyron, Hendy, either way. I'll probably lean Hendy. Hendy, Kyron. Probably McBride, Hampton, but that depends on if you can get away with going tight end without really chasing all the positions. And only you would know how deep Hunter will fall, Harvey will fall. If you can get guys like that later, than in some leagues and formats like on Underdog, Hunter goes at like top of 5. Harvey goes in 5. If you could get both in 6, 7, then I'm more apt to go McBride and test the waters. But I think, probably overall in a vacuum, Hampton over McBride. All right, thank you for those super chats. You guys absolutely rock. Let me hit the phone line again. Let's go over to Jared. Jared, you're live.
BBQ sent 100 memberships so far.
What? Why is this not
250 burgers?
Why is this not alerting me? Hold on 1 second. Let's see here. Let me fix the alerts here. BBQ is the man, the myth, the legend. Nick, mute yourself, please, real quickly. Guys, the phone line's closed. No more calls until I reopen the phone line. So stop dialing in. BBQ dropping 100 gifted memberships like a straight up monster.
Smitty, everybody's pretty.
Let him cook.
BBQ dropping 50 gifted memberships like the monster that he was born as. Born as a monster. Any wide receivers you like around 4, 12-man redraft. Nice change of pace, Panthers. I like it. He's diplomatic, this man. I like him. I like Panthers. He says wide receiver round 4. I mean, I love Garrett Wilson. I love MHJ. I love JSN. I love all those players around that territory. 601 of you on the YouTube here. Hit that thumb up, but more importantly, subscribe if you're new. You found your one-stop shop. I go live when news breaks. We walk in the studio. The lights are already on. I would say we fire the lights on, but I leave them on all day because I'm in and out. When news breaks, I sit down. Takes me about 4 minutes to fire up, and then we go live. So if you don't subscribe, you're missing out on the show that gives you consistent news breakdowns of any breaking news that happens throughout the entire season. 365. There's no time off in February or March, or let's tell it, I'll be back in April for full shows. We go down to 1 day a week during February and March because we're Mickey Mouse. No, we're live every single day. 365. On Christmas, I'm live at midnight. Any wide receivers you like in round 4? Travis, what other wide receivers am I not thinking of? JSN, MHJ, Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson's my favorite. Not always available, but, they fall.
Yeah, those are the main ones.
Let's see here. I would say Worthy a little bit, yeah. That's. I mean, honestly, man, those are the guys. I tend to go. We did tend to go Hendy, Hampton, early quarterback, and then now all these guys are getting ripped up into the third and second round. Hard to say.
Yeah.
BBQ, thank you again, man. That's tough to say. Garrett, if it's a 10-man, you're getting one of those. If it's not, you might want to go RB shopping, or another early quarterback becomes a pretty decent move. Breece Hall would be good as well in the 4th round. Devontae Adams is tempting, but there's some risk there. Make sure you don't oversaturate on a 33-year-old wide receiver. B-Men says Harvey or Hall. In a vacuum, Harvey, but the ADPs are different, so you can be smart about drafting Harvey a round or 2 later, B-Men. After a draft's over, you might have to pay the 1-for-1 price, though. Maybe not initially, but after a couple weeks go by, or especially after week 1, the draft values don't matter anymore. In a vacuum, it's Harvey for me. But definitely make sure you're taking advantage of everything. Hey, Smitty, QQ. Do you got any videos ready for Mars, Jupiter, Saturn men like you did with the top 8 last year with Bijan and others? I don't know what this means. And this isn't a QQ. This is a medium Q. I don't know what this means. Ready for the Mars, Jupiter, Saturn men. I mean, you mean the Mars men, Jupiter men, Saturn boards that we play all day long every day for the entire offseason like these?
The Jupiter men. Jupiter is
The Saturn men.
One small step for man, one.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
I'm not sure if that's what you mean. But I don't know.
Supernovas? Top 8? Is that what he's talking about?
I don't know. QQ, you got to give us more than that. Maybe do a MQ, medium question. I don't know. All right, let's go for 978. What's your name? 978. Where are you calling from? This Robert?
Nick from Arizona.
Nick, what's going on?
I drafted Achane last week, and I want to pick up Aldi Gordon.
Yes, sir.
Who would you drop? Tua, Will Shipley, Sean Tucker, or Torrey Horton? Those are kind of like my last 4 players on my bench.
Are you going to use Horton? Because I like him a lot. And it's redraft?
It's 1.5 tight end premium redraft, no trades. An FFPC big gorilla.
So read him again. Horton, Shipley.
Tua or Sean Tucker. I also have Tyreek and Achane, but I have Hurts as my starting QB. So I don't really know what to do on that one.
Well, if you drop Tua, just to clarify, if you drop Tua, would you be able to get another quarterback pretty easily, or is this something where you're screwed if this goes awry? Phone lines aren't open right now, guys. A couple of you keep calling in over and over and over. I'm about to ban your number. Like I said, I'll open the phone line.
The top available QB is Sam Darnold and Jackson Dart. There's really not that many.
Then I wouldn't drop Tua.
Starting quarterbacks.
So I'd probably say I like Shipley, but it depends. It drops Shipley or Horton. So you just got to decide which one's more likely to be a player you might need to use. And I'm not saying Shipley doesn't have that hidden value. Like, he could be the top pickup of the week, the moment, or if something happens to Barkley, and then you're going to be kicking yourself. But at the same time, I like Horton a lot. But if you're never going to use him, you probably want to hold the home run running back value potentially. But that's tough to say. If it was Dynasty, I'd say keep Horton for sure. But yeah, I guess
I have Luther Burden, Keenan Allen, Khalil Shakir as my 3 wide receivers on the bench. I have Debo, Tyreek, and Devontae Smith.
Maybe you cut.
But I only have 8.
I like Keenan Allen, but I don't know that Keenan Allen's going to be like ultra. It's hard to say. Like, is he just going to be an inconsistent body that's catching footballs like at the right time, helping this offense move, or will Keenan Allen be a staple? It's hard to know. Chat, can we vote on who you're cutting? Keenan Allen, Horton, or Shipley? Shipley's not worth much at all right now, but he has hidden value. Horton's a breakout candidate, but it could take him time. He could be inconsistent. And then you've got Keenan Allen, who might be cooked, or maybe he cooks a little longer.
Redraft? It's full PPR too, so I feel like Keenan might have a little bit more value in that, if he just gets peppered with targets.
It's kind of torn. Everyone's saying Horton, drop Allen, Horton, cut Shipley, cut Allen, cut Shipley.
Redraft?
Cut Shipley. It's redraft.
Yeah, it's a redraft.
I'd cut Shipley. Pick him back up.
Yeah, I mean, you run the risk of, like, if a mid-game injury happens, then everyone's going to race for him on the waiver wire. But I don't know. Personally, I don't know that. Are you ever going to use Keenan Allen? I
have Tyreek, Devontae Smith, Debo, and then my next best is Khalil Shakir, and he's kind of injured. So it's like Luther Burden and Torrey Horton on the bench is like high upside rookie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is not easy, bro. Without Barkley, probably.
No, it's really tough.
Probably cut Shipley.
I have cut Shipley.
I guess. I guess, man. I mean, Horton.
I have like Hurts too. It's like if Barkley goes down, then Shipley's an absolute league winner.
Well, then cut Horton or Keenan Allen. If you're wanting to hold on to that running back hidden value, which is wasting away, but it's certainly hidden value. I'd cut Keenan Allen. Final answer.
Okay.
That's just what I do.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, later, bro. It's a tough call. This is a call. All right. Let me go over to Jared. Did I already talk to you?
No.
812?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, 812. Jared, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, what can I do?
I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller. I'm calling from Kentucky. I was just calling. I haven't drafted yet. I draft this weekend. We do a keeper league, just one keeper. My keeper was Kyron Williams in round 12. So I'm trying to decide. I got pick 10, so I'm trying to decide on whether to go receiver, or because I feel like Kyron's almost like a hero RB in a way. Well, not hero RB, but I just don't know which way to go as far as like receiver, or just double up on RBs, or what to really do in that situation.
I'm sorry. Can I just admit something? I didn't hear a word you said because I'm watching Harvey.
That's correct.
Well, hold on.
Yeah,
I'm watching Harvey punch in this touchdown.
All right.
Oh my God! Hold on a second. Let's just let's wait 1 second. I'll have you re-ask your question in 1 second. Let me just pull up something real quickly. Oh man.
All right.
Hold on 1 second. I want to show this real quickly. Actually, go ahead. Restate what you're saying. I'm sorry.
Okay, so we have a keeper league, and I got draft pick 10. It's a 10-team keeper league. It's kind of a grandma league, kind of not. It's a family league. But I have the 10th pick, and I'm keeping Kyron Williams in round 12. So I'm trying to figure out, do I go receiver, and then just wait for it to come back to me, and then just take best available RB, or
hard to say.
What is your take on that?
The board's going to determine everything, bro. The board's going to determine everything.
Okay.
It's really, really tough to suggest that, I would go one way or the other. The bottom line is, in a 10-man league, I'm more apt to go running back. In a 12-man league, I'm more apt to potentially go balance if possible, but I'm still not scared to go running back. What I tend to never do. Now, you said you had, who was your keeper? You said Kyron?
Kyron Williams, round 12.
Yeah. Now, with that, I am a little more likely to try it, but it just depends on what running backs are there. At the end of the day.
Because I was going to say, if I could get Henderson, if I went like receiver, I was going to hope that Henderson wouldn't break out to an extent to where he would be going before he got back to me, but it's already looking like
give me
put
5
that video out, like he's like,
give me 5 guys. I'll rank them. This is the easiest way to do this. There's no way for me to tell you a game plan. I think when people want me to give them a game plan, of hey, who do I draft? This guy, like, what do I do? Wide receiver. It's kind of setting yourself up for failure. Give me a
'cause I don't want to.
Give me a list of 5 guys that you think you're going to be faced with, and I'll tell you. I'll rank them. So you got Kyron already. You got no other players. Just Kyron. Kyron already. Give me the 5.
Yeah, just Kyron. Yep.
Give me the 5 guys.
I'm thinking like going Nico and Drake London, or Genty should be there. Those 3 are the main 3 that I can think of, but I don't really.
So I'm going Genty, London.
Like I said, I don't know what to do in the situation.
I'm going Genty, London, Nico, and it doesn't matter who you have. That's the way I want you to think about this. Is best player available? You're not thinking best player available at all. You got to think who is the best pick at this particular draft selection. Not, hey, I've got this. Should I go wide receiver? Why not take the guy that's going to score the most amount of points and maybe win you a league? And to me, that's Genty. The second player is London. I like Nico a lot, but London to me is maybe top 1 to. I keep telling you, I'm not taking calls, bro. You keep calling back to back to back. I'm gonna block your number. You're never gonna be able to call in again. Call again, and I'm blocking your number. He's like literally panic, Peter. But I'm gonna open the phone line in a second, bro. Calm down. Genty, London. I got to roll the other phone callers, but I appreciate you. Go best player available, bro.
Best player available. All right. Thank you.
Who are you taking first in a draft? You're probably taking Genty. Maybe you take London if you're fine. If you do, London.
I was gonna say, yeah. I was thinking going Genty, and then with being the 10th pick, I'd go back to back. So I was thinking either Genty and London or Genty and Nico is what I was leaning towards.
Yeah. Either way is good, bro. All right. Appreciate you.
Okay. All right. Thanks, man.
All right, hold on a second. This is a new angle that I didn't have of this RJ Harvey touchdown. And let me just screen grab it and I'll show it. I mean, RJ Harvey is going to be, I wish people, I'm glad people don't believe in him like we do, but sometimes it's like one of those things where it's frustrating, but then after people start believing, you realize you liked it better when people didn't like him. And being somebody that wants to prove it all the time, we forget what it feels like once the value goes away. So, but RJ Harvey could be a top 5 running back this year. And one thing we got to keep in mind is how good Hampton looked coming off of the preseason game where they played him 2 carries. Then pulled him off like he was a starter. And that was kind of like some of our first taste of fantasy football glory. And so that felt huge to us. We're like, oh, we're detectives, right? Hampton went in 2 carries. They took him out like a starter. Najee's got the eye patch. He's a pirate right now. And Hampton's going to the moon. Then Hampton's value soared above Hendy's, above everybody's. Everybody was like loving it. Then Hendy scores a touchdown. Then Hendy scores another. Now Hendy's going crazy. Now everybody loves Hendy more, but everybody's forgetting about RJ Harvey. Not to suggest he's better. I'm saying Hendy's still my number 1, but I'm just telling you, there's going to be a moment in time where Harvey climbs into the same exact value territory, which is 3-4 round turn value. Even if it's after all your drafts, even if it happens September, even if it happens after week 1, in hindsight, Harvey will be a 3rd round player. His value will quickly be in the 3rd round territory, even if it's after week 1 and you're trying to reflect on this thing. And we're looking back and saying, we won leagues. We took this kid so late. Let me show this touchdown. He is going to score. He's going to have 70 plus receptions and he's going to score maybe 12 to 14 total touchdowns. And if he doesn't do more, if he does less than that, I'll be disappointed. Probably does more than that. Look at this run by Harvey. He's going to score so many touchdowns. This angle is unbelievable. Harvey slipping through. This is his touchdown on Sunday. Just slipping through defenders. They can't tackle him. Look at his contact balance, his low center of gravity. Look at him slide through this hole right here. I mean, Harvey's going to slip into the end zone 10 times this year, minimum. I can't wait for all the Harvey doubters to vanish and scatter like cockroaches into the shadows. And as they think that this guy's going to relinquish carries to J.K. Dobbins. I mean, his low center of gravity, you can't tackle him. You can't tackle him. And as Sean Payton said, he's big. He's a big guy. He's short, but he's a big guy. He's built like Saquon Barkley. Turn on received gift memberships on your account. BBQ says if you guys aren't getting your gifted memberships, you need to turn it on. Go into your settings on YouTube and turn on accept gifted memberships. You're okay with Hendy at 3.4 over Hampton? Yes, I am. I sure am. And let me handle these super chats real quickly. Smitty, medium question, MQ. Yes, sir. The top 8 supernovas. Yes, we have a supernovas video. I'll play that in 1 second. Appreciate you. McConkey or Hendy. Hunter or Rice, Hunter. Drake or Nico, Drake. All pretty easy. I'm not even hesitating on those, although I do like all those guys. Dynasty trade away Connor for Tootin and Fannin. In Dynasty, probably, yeah. As much as I think Connor's got maybe some value this year, Tootin for sure. I'd take Tootin's Tootin and Tank. I'd take Tootin straight up for Connor in a dynasty. 14-team PPR: Fields, Henderson, Pacheco, Lamb, London, Strange, Moore, Chubb, JCM, Buka, Mason, Marks, Pearsall. Rate my team drafted 1.6. Fields, Henderson, Pacheco, Lamb. I like this, man. Lamb in London's great. Henderson's great, but you know, this is an example of that caller that called and wanted to go wide receiver. He's got Kyron, so it works. But anybody wanting to go wide receiver without a keeper, it does make your running back room look a little bit shaky. But if, let's say, JCM steps up, BBQ dropping another 50 gifted memberships, by the way. BBQ, you are a legend.
Let him cook.
BBQ, you're a monster, bro. You're a monster. Lamb London. So this team to be an 8 or 8.5, it's now in the 7.9 or below range. You're not necessarily gonna need a trade or a waiver wire claim, although that would push you over the edge. Make sure you're on top of waivers. But you're gonna need Pacheco or JCM, Bill, to step up big. And if they do, and I think they can for sure, this team can get that player it needs to be an 8.0. Trade-wise, the only thing I could recommend that you do would be you trade Lamb for a London type, who you have London, but you know what I'm saying, a London type of player. Maybe a downgrade to BTJ, downgrade to a player of that caliber, and get that extra like Harvey before it's too late. Like if you do that, if you get, I'm not saying you get BTJ and Harvey, but if you surrender, let's say a Mason even to get that done, or a Pearsall and Lamb for BTJ and Harvey, you pull off something like that, you're an instant 8.5 team in my book, Dylan. So you can do this via trade if you're crafty, but do not give up Lamb on the cheap. You have to do it in a way that makes me proud of you, not disappointed in you. And come back when you have those offers or those potential deals. $20 hauler here from AJ. AJ, appreciate you, AJ. AJ, you still there? AJ, thank you for dropping this 12 pick, 12 team Nico, Achane, Higgins, Marion Hampton, Trey Hendy, love it. George Pickens, love it. Brian Robinson Jr., don't like it. Joe Mixon, don't like it. Brock Purdy, don't like it. Love Tank Bigsby. Ray Davis, good. I like the team a lot, minus a couple things. I'm not a T. Higgins drafter. So, I love the Achane, Nico, Hampton, and Trey Henderson and George Pickens. Fantastic team. Would I be moving T. Higgins and Joe Mixon together for one BTJ, one London, one Harvey type of player, a quarterback upgrade because you got Brock Purdy? So maybe Mixon and T. Higgins for Mahomes or a Burrow or something like that. But I'm certainly moving T. Higgins and Mixon, and I'm trying to get one player that ranks above T. Higgins. And you got Hampton already. Harvey would suffice, but if you're going wide receiver shopping, what you probably would want to do, because you got Hampton and Hendy already in Achane, I would say you're leaning towards who's your wide receiver one? You've got T. Higgins, Nico. You're leaning toward London. London's probably the cheapest of the elite players. But even I'm looking like a Garrett Wilson. Who else could he get? Let's see. Wide receiver. Damn it, I hate when it does that. Pull it up and it just like refreshes and have to start over and go back to the rankings. Hold on. Wide receiver. Let's say, someone like BTJ, London. I mean, maybe even McConkey, I suppose. T. Higgins is close to him, though, so you almost have to go a little higher. I would trade T. Higgins straight across for Garrett Wilson. And Garrett Wilson ranks below T. Higgins sometimes, if you got to give up a little something to pull that off. But AJ, I'm trying to move Mixon and T. Higgins. Would anybody move Mixon and T. Higgins for just Garrett Wilson straight up? I think I would. But the crazy part is, on Underdog, T. Higgins goes ahead of Garrett Wilson, so it's weird. But in non-best bowl, I don't think that's the case, but it might be.
$100 hauler.
$100 hauler from Sean. Sean dropping a wad. Sean, what are you doing, pal? I love you.
primarily Smitty. Everybody's pretty. 100%.
Let him cook.
Sean, appreciate you. Hey, Smitty, 5th season watching you. Let's win again this year. All my boys think I'm a fantasy wizard because of you. Much love. Sean, you are a fantasy wizard to me. To me, you are, Sean. To me. Yeah, buddy. Okay, Sean, you're the man, the myth, the legend. Appreciate you. All right, the super chats have been cleared out. Let me go back over to the phone line here. Nick from Baltimore, and then I might open up the phone line again for a few minutes. Go ahead, Nick. Hello.
Hey,
What's up?
Hey, I had a quick question. I also weird, crazy thing. The power went off as soon as you told me that my, that I was on the phone line. I was like, "What the heck?" So weird. But yeah. I got a quick question about auction drafts. So you obviously do a strategy when you go into an auction, just pick the players you don't want and bid them, like let them get bid up first.
Yes, sir.
How high do you go for the players that you want when they get put up on the nomination? Like I've say if we're dealing with like a $200 total budget, like what do you use, like your own rankings? Like do you set them up? Do you have them on your website, or is there a video that I can
I do have auction dollars attached to every ranking on my thefantasyfootballshow.com. So if anybody wants that, let me drop that. But thank you again, Sean. Thank you, BBQ. BBQ, you're a legend, and Gregor's becoming a legend as well, and Sean's starting to become a little bit of a legend as well. So appreciate both of you. Here's the rankings. My thefantasyfootballshow.com. I just dropped the link in the live chat if you want full predictions rankings. So yeah, I have auction dollars. The thing I'd say about the auction dollars though on my site or anywhere is they're not going to necessarily be what you go off, because you can't assume everybody's viewing these guys at the same dollar amount. It's mainly going to tell you how strongly I feel. And then, bro, you just keep bidding on the players. If you're going to go off my rankings, let's say, if I have somebody like Hendy ranking, auction dollar wise right next to CMC, you don't want to spend that. It's just telling you that ranking wise in a vacuum, this is how I see it going down. And you want to take advantage of it. And I'm not even saying you should bid up to McCaffrey's number. It's just telling you, bro, I love this kid. But you need context into everything. You can't go off of a list in an auction. You got to go off of feel. You got to use the rankings as a guide to prepare. But that's the thing about an auction. There's no plan. You're literally making mistakes or getting lucky or making good decisions left and right the whole way through. There's no number. You just feel it out. What's the vibe and flow? I can't give you asking me how much I should bid on somebody now when I'm not even in the auction with the flow and seeing the baselines, because it's all baseline. The top quarterback sets a baseline. The top running back sets a baseline, and then it all trickles down from there. Without knowing any of that, answering a question like that's the same as answering a waiver wire question. Like when Scott called in earlier, and it's how much percentage should I drop? Nobody should be answering that advice, giving that advice to anybody. If anybody says how much percentage fab should I drop, that person doesn't understand waivers, or they're giving crap advice. You can't give a percentage to somebody. You can't, because every league is completely different. So the answer, same thing with auction. I can't give you a number. All I can say is that the guys you want, be very active in the bid, and relatively speaking, pay the price that you need to pay if you value that player next to the baselines that have been set around it. That's it. There's no way to give you a blueprint on this. You just got to go out there and swing away, Merrill.
All right. Okay, say if like Barkley went at like $49 and McCaffrey went at $45, what do you think Bijan or Gibbs should go at?
You said $49?
Yeah,
I'd say 55.
Okay. Right, that gives me like a goal.
You shouldn't be spending, but you got to let the baselines get set. That's why you don't ever want your player called out first. You want your players called out after everybody spent all their money. You know, you want to come in and say, like, because if Barkley goes for 49 and Bijan climbs to 65, guess what? You're probably letting Bijan go.
Right.
Or if it's a $200, I mean, I'm not. I guess let's just say this: in a $200 league, what you don't want is, it sounds like a low number, to be honest. Like, I would spend actually, let me correct what I said. I would spend 60 on Bijan, even if guys are going 49. The reason being is those numbers are low. If everybody's bidding too low and they're $50 running backs and not $70 running backs, then that means that the running backs like a tier below are going to be almost the same price. So if you could get, I would definitely spend $50-something on Bijan's, $50-something on Gibbs. I would blow my half of my wad on those two running backs without a hesitation. But what I wouldn't do is buy them at 80 or 79 each, maybe. Unless I'm doing the two-headed monster approach where I grab Bijan and Gibbs, and I don't mind that. That's kind of fun. But yeah, $60 doesn't seem too high. If you're using the baselines and you don't want to go above the baselines, then I guess you could say you're not drafting them. But honestly, I'd take Bijan at 60. I would.
Okay, yeah, that's great.
Wide receivers.
So always a.
I mean, yeah, I gotta
appreciate your advice, man.
I got a draft where.
Let me just ask one more question. I'll let you answer it, and I'll get off the phone so you can go to the next guy. So the last question is, like, on a Superflex auction, how much of, like, say if like Jalen Hurts went for 45, like, how much of my budget should be dedicated to quarterbacks in a Superflex draft?
You're asking the same question. You're asking the same question again. All right, I'm gonna hang up on you now. Listen to the reply. You don't know. You got to look at. You don't dedicate anything. This is like drafting. I'm gonna get away from auction. No offense, but nobody really. People do auction, but it's not. There's not enough people that do auction that really continue talking about it. But you can't. Yeah, like, we're just wasting time. Like 10 minutes talking about hypotheticals, Nick. We can't. There's nothing that I can tell you. You can't dedicate a certain amount of dollars to a quarterback. You've got to just. This is like saying, do I draft wide receiver in round 5? Do I draft a quarterback in round 7? No, you got to go with the flow. You have to go with the flow. $100 hauler from Sean. Appreciate this one, Sean. Sean, you get to put your super chat on any video that you want, Sean. So tell me what you want it to be. Nick, I appreciate you. I'm not mad at you. You can't sit here and talk auction strategies for a half hour when they're the same question. You can't do any of that. $10 hauler from my boy WRM. 10-man PPR, 2 flex, 5th pick. Hurts, JJ Puka, Harvey, Henderson, McBride, London, DJ Moore, Pollard, Ridley. How would you approach a 10-man, 2 flex PPR, 6 points per TD league at the 1.5? Okay, so we get two different questions, or is this your mock draft? I don't understand. Okay, let's see here. 10-man, I'm going to assume this is your team, or it's a mock and you're trying to get me to judge it and then give you the plan of attack. But Hurts, JJ Puka, Harvey, Henderson. I love this team. I mean, London, JJ Puka. How do you even get that? London, JJ Puka. How is that even possible? McBride, Henderson, London. I don't understand. This is a great team. This is a fantastic. 10 out of almost 10 out of 10. Like, what are you doing here? You must have traded with somebody. I'm not giving out a 10. I never give out 10s, but, like, what are we doing? Fantastic squad. As far as how I would approach a 10-man 2-flex league, non-superflex, because I don't see superflex here, I would say this is the same thing that everyone keeps asking me. Flow of draft. I cannot give you a blueprint. I need to see what the board is. In a 10-man, I'm usually going running back. I usually am. Not because I'm choosing to cement myself into a plan, but I know over hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of drafts and whatever, knowing and watching drafts, looking at people's teams, And just knowing my league, and your league might be different, and your scoring could determine a slight different change in my thinking, but I'm going RB because in a 10-man league, the RBs are going to get ripped off fast, and the wide receivers like Garrett Wilson, MHJ, Hunter, Debo, Ibuka, all those guys tend to drop a whole round. And so I got Garrett Wilson in the 5th round in my 10-man buddy league. The 5th round, it was disgusting. I almost felt bad. I almost felt like I couldn't take it. You know, I almost felt like when someone drops a $20 bill and you don't see him anywhere and you pick it up and you're like, do I keep it? Like Garrett Wilson in round 5, I felt like a bad person. So a 10-man league, kick wide receiver downstream a little bit, but WRM, don't make sure you're going with flow. Do not take anything set. Superflex on the clock, 1.7, complete rebuild, not winning anything this year. Need a QB2. Would you add Harvey and have Chase, Kyron, Hampton, and Harvey, or Dart? Harvey. You can't take Dart over Harvey. Take Milrow later. It's not too early at 2.2. Definitely not going Dart there. Shador might even be there at 2.2, but I like Dart. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Harvey, there's not a question here. It's not even a question. Thank you for your super chat. Let's see here. Dart. I like Dart. I'm hopeful for Dart, but drop 1 for Little Bill, Mason, ETN, Bigsby, Sampson, Tootin. If I had to drop somebody in this group, I mean, damn, I guess. Jeez, bro. Travis, you cutting ETN or Sampson for Bill? Yes, Bigsby. So it's like he's got Tootin too. So yeah, you got to keep the Jag guys. I'd almost say Sampson.
You gotta keep that. Drop your kicker if you can, though, and make it trade.
Kicker and then trade. But if you had to, you have to go Sampson. Well, if it's Dynasty, I'd drop Mason. But I'm trading. Like you can't get a second round pick for Mason right now. Like do some sort of fire sale, but don't cut him. Don't cut him. These are tough questions, but you got to trade him. You could get a second rounder for Mason.
It's redraft. So.
I guess you cut Sampson just because he's fighting with Ford and Judkins eventually. I don't know. Drop Rondre Stevenson for Krotsky Merritt. If you like winning, yes. If you like winning, Patrick. If you don't like winning, I still do it. Nate, appreciate you. If it's raining on draft day and I ate pizza for breakfast, would you take a running back or a QB in round 8? It's a good question, Nate. Thank you for the super chat. I feel like that's the way some people want me to answer things, and I try and answer every question, and I'm trying not to like be like, oh, I can't ask Smitty a question. It's not that, but I just need. It's better if you give me a little more context to get to make it helpful for you. You know, appreciate you in the super chat, my boy. All right, phone lines are open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
BBQ dropping fire. Sean Patrick dropping fire.
Real quick, someone's been asking in the chat, Zula, would you trade Garendo to get JCM? You would right now, right?
Garendo to yes, I'm cutting Garendo for JCM every time right now. Yeah. Doesn't mean I don't like. Mute yourself real quick, caller. Doesn't mean I don't like. Mute yourself real quickly, guys, please. Mute yourself. I'll be right with you. Mute yourself real quick. And then I'm going to take one more caller. Mute yourself. I'll be right with you, but please hit mute. Everybody else, sorry. There's like 15 people calling in. I got a full line. Yeah, Garendo you cut every time for JCM right now, unfortunately. Doesn't mean you don't maybe jump back on the train. You know, it's
yeah, he got offered as a trade, so I guess it's the same thing.
Yeah.
He got offered JCM for Garendo.
All right, let me go over to the threes.
I'm gonna jump Smitty. I'll be in the chat, but I'll see you at 8.
All right, I'll see you at 8 p.m. later. Thomas, you're live.
Bye.
Thomas, you're live.
Tom, is that me? I'm Tom. I don't know if there's other Tom.
I'm Tom too.
Okay, let me go to the 708 caller.
All right, that's me, Smitty.
What's your name, bro?
Quick question,
Tom?
man. Dynasty League. I want to trade away Malik Neighbors in a 27 second and get Justin Jefferson. Is that smart?
In a Dynasty League, I'd rather have Neighbors over JJ. Well, I don't know, man. I mean, they're pretty dead even.
Yeah, it's a fair trade, 100%. I'm more in a win now mode, and other teams more in a rebuild.
I don't know. It's such a tough call. Chat, what do you think? The second rounder doesn't bother me on either side of this, really. But chat, would you rather have Neighbors or
Yeah,
JJ?
it'd be a late second too.
Neighbors or JJ in a Dynasty? I kind of lean toward. Damn, it's so easy to be scared off by both of their injuries right now. But Neighbors has that toe surgery. The chat is completely split. I'm gonna lean Neighbors slightly. If he's younger, I'm gonna lean Neighbors slightly.
All right, appreciate it, Smitty.
Very, very, very close call, bro. All right, later.
All right, man, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh, Thomas, the other Thomas, call back, or Tom, call back. I hung up on the wrong one. Thank you. 434. What is your name and where are you calling from?
It was good. It's Patty.
All right,
I got,
Patty.
two Dynasty questions.
All right, hang 1 second, Patty. Hold on. Is this Tom?
Yep.
Okay, sorry, I hung up on you. Just wait 1 second.
Yep, I'll mute.
All right. And the other phone callers, I'm sorry, I'm not taking any more calls. I'll be back at 8 p.m. after I answer these. All right, go ahead, Patty. Patty from the 434. Go ahead, you're live.
All right, I got two quick Dynasty questions. Got some trades in my inbox. 12 teams start 9, 1 QB. You're getting BTJ for Waddle and Wilson, Garrett Wilson. You doing that?
Yes, BTJ, easy.
And then what running backs? I don't feel too good about Chuba. What running backs would you be targeting with like Chuba in a second or Chuba in a first? You looking to make that deal as a contender?
Kyron, you
start 9.
One could argue Kyron's, better, not better. I get that. Harvey's one of my favorite Dynasty guys to go get right now. Hendy, but Hendy's gonna be harder to get now. His owners are so amped up. Hampton, honestly, like Chuba's right there with like Breece Hall, and like he's good value. I think if you're going RB shopping, these are probably the 3 that you're trying to get. And I think Harvey's your best bet. Now, if you run into a roadblock and the guy's not giving him up, then the guy's not giving him up. But Breece Hall's still a young guy. You could look at that if you don't like the Chuba Hubbard value. You could go after, try and get the 1.1 next year so that you can draft the next top running back. Other like Kyron, like I said, is not a bad option. I really like Kyron still. He's got a couple years left. Obviously, I'm going after Genty or Bucky, but you're giving up a boatload more to get that done. But I would. Henderson, like I said, that's about it, bro. I mean, Chupa's pretty good. You're either upgrading him massively.
That's the list right there.
Harvey's the pick. I think Harvey's the cheapest.
And I watched your stream last night on JCM or JMC. What are you paying for him in Dynasty?
It depends, man. I mean, it's a vague question.
He was a 4th round pick. I mean, standard Superflex start 10.
That's a vague question. I mean, what?
Are you comfortable sending a second?
I'm of
Second
course.
round pick?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you have to probably contemplate like a 2028 or 2029 first rounder. I don't think someone's giving him up right now for a second round pick, bro. Someone's gonna slam the door right in your face. His value's skyrocketing today and yesterday. I mean, it's a little late to the party to try to get him for a second rounder. You try. Give up 3 second rounders. I give up every second rounder I had for 4 years, together, all at one.
Appreciate it.
All right, I appreciate it. Yeah, but good. Let us know if you get him for that. I'd be very curious to know if you can get him for a second rounder. Like, that would be very, very interesting. Sometimes you got to remember.
I'll be in the chat.
Sometimes you got to remember, I'm so overly amped on some of these guys. I sometimes have a false sense of what a layman might do in one of these leagues. So when I come hard at that, don't necessarily think you still can't do it, bro. There are some bad fantasy football players out there. So try it. And then if you get it, we'll have some great information to maybe throw around. But I have a feeling that if you're a JCM owner, you got Bill on your team, you're not sitting there going, okay, time to get off the pot. Like, you just sat down. It's just getting good. All right, later, bro.
Later.
360, this is Tom, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, Tom, what can I do for you?
Yes, it is. Great. I'll make this quick. It's definitely kind of a nuanced question, but it's redraft home league with my boys. We just removed our kicker spot and we added an IDP spot. But now my question is, with Travis Hunter, how would you go about, I feel like it's a gimme to reach on him now, even like maybe 3rd round, 4th round, because you're going to get his defensive points. Plus you get the ability to start, essentially a 3rd wide receiver in your lineup, and that nobody else is going to be able to do that. We're a 2 wide receiver flex.
What?
And then to be able to
do you have your league?
Travis Hunter.
Do you have your league management app around? Can you sort by projections and tell me what he's ranking overall on projections, not on like that?
Yeah, I've looked it up and it's insane. I want to say,
but that's what you got to do. You can't speculate. You got to call.
But that puts him at like basically a 1st round pick.
Then he's a 1st round pick, bro. I mean, you're thinking you're going to get Travis Hunter in the 3rd.
It's just scary to do that. I guess someone else
why?
is probably going to.
Why is it scary to do that?
It's just weird to pick Travis Hunter in the 1st round, but I guess it's like a little loophole thing that
he's a cheat code, bro. You can't. I mean, you're thinking you're getting him in the 3rd round is cute.
I know.
I mean,
someone's going to take him in the 2nd. I'm upset.
Bro, someone might take him in the 1st round. He's not. What's he rank overall?
He's ranked number 2.
Okay, so what in the world makes you think you're going to get him in the 3rd round, though? You know what I mean? Like, you got to come to the realization. What are they? Let me paint it this way. What are they projecting his receiving numbers for? Because they're probably at like 805.
Yep.
So if he's ranking
he's 880 reception yards, 6 TDs.
Okay, 6 TDs. So imagine where he finishes if he does what I say he's going to do as a receiver. If he gets 1,100 to 1,200 yards and 12 TDs, what do you think he's going to rank then? 1?
Yep.
All right, my boy.
Wild, man.
You got your answer.
Well, I this is what I needed to hear, but I needed some validation because it's just definitely a game changer and weird to think about. But
all right, my boy.
Best IDP score is projected 120 points. Travis
just make sure your commissioner is not going to change the scoring on you, and all of a sudden you run the projections.
I am the commissioner, so we're good there.
All right, there you go, bro. You got it. All right, later.
All right, well, hey, I appreciate it. You're doing great. Peace.
All right, later. Yeah, I mean, I need to do a video on this. I'm going to write it on my board. Because Hunter's a cheat code beyond what people realize. Hunter's a cheat code times 2, because if he's ranking number 1 or 2 in your format and they're watering down his wide receiver projections, what in the hell do you think's going to happen when he has 1,200 yards and 12 TDs? Total, like 150 rushing, 1,000 to 1,100 receiving, 1,200 to 1,300 total, 12 total touchdowns, maybe 9 receiving, 3 running. What do you think's going to happen? He goes from number 2, 3, 4, 5 to number 1 overall. There was, I don't think there was anybody talking like we were. I mean, they certainly were the most hyped on Travis Hunter you could find. There's just nobody. Nobody's talking to Travis Hunter like we were, or even are now. And when we said he's going to be a cheat code, people weren't even talking about it. He's going to break IDP, is what I warned everyone. We just didn't really know what that looked like yet because the management platforms didn't make a decision or a determination yet. There was a lot of unknown ambiguity walking in, but we knew he would break IDP. Phone line's closed for now. I'll be back at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thank you for that $100 hauler, Sean. A freaking monster. And then Spencer, I'm joining late, so I might have missed it. Thoughts on Achane injury? Yeah, I mean, first of all, make sure you watch the beginning of the show for more information on this. But he's sitting out with a calf injury. Doesn't mean it's significant. They are very hopeful for week 1, just merely saying they're going to rest him just to make sure it's good. You never know until you test it again, but they're just merely saying he felt like he had a strain. He's going to rest it, sit out until, probably close to week 1. Start doing he's rehab. But the thing is, a lot of people think that a player just sits on the couch. Like, they're at rehab every day. They're on an exercise bike. They're walking. They're doing band work. You're using your calf. You're rehabbing it. So not concerned. Does it maybe make Bucky or BTJ or London rank above him when maybe they were all tied and you were leaning Achane? Maybe, but that's it. It shouldn't move him down below any sort of tier. It's just a matter of like, okay, well, inside his own tier, we like Bucky anyway. Better, we just knew we could draft Achane higher. So don't worry about it. Thank you to all the callers. If that caller out there ends up pulling off that trade, JCM for a second rounder, please let me know. I doubt you're going to get it. I think the door is going to get slammed on your face, but I'd love to hear if you pulled it off. I didn't mean to come off like you shouldn't try it. Appreciate all of you. Thank you to my moderators. Thank you to all the super chats. We'll be back at 8 p.m. Eastern. I can't thank you all enough. Sean, you're such a monster, bro. You're such a monster. Celebratory messages. We got this one from Brofist Brad, who says Chisholm broke Cup's record. Look, Chisholm's a nice piece to add on the waiver wire, preemptive waiver wire board. And should you grab him now? Absolutely. If he's available, consider scooping him up. Make sure you don't leave him out there. If your league has open waivers in Dynasty, he's a fantastic add. Chisholm climbs all the way. You technically, just because he's not guaranteed anything right now in terms of the top 2 spots, you could argue Royals, Thornton, Tesla, all kind of in that same bucket. Horton's a little bit higher than these guys because he's got more of a foothold. Krosky merits the top pickup of the week, no matter what, if we're talking about week 1 preemptive show. 600 and something of you in here total. If I got you over on X, make sure you get on over to YouTube to subscribe and make sure you're ready, because we don't go live on Twitter all the time. I'm just doing it lately just to get people aware. We got 521 of you in the YouTube live stream. Please subscribe if you're new. I'll be back at 8 p.m. I go live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern every single Monday through Friday. So any weekday, we're live at 8 p.m. That's 5 p.m. Pacific and 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm live additionally whenever news breaks. This is the second breaking news live stream today. This isn't even the 8 p.m. show. This is the second breaking news live stream today. Go watch the other one. And then I'm live at midnight, additionally, almost every single night. You heard me. I'm live at 8 p.m. I'm live at midnight. I'm live whenever news breaks. We'll do 4 live streams today. 4 of them. So I'll be back. I'm going to eat. Your boy still hasn't eaten yet because I work for you. Thank you, Brofist, for that. Thank you all for the super chats. Thank you, Gregor. Freaking monster, Gregor. Dropping the $50 hauler and then the $100 hauler coming from Sean. Sean, did you pick a video yet? Let's see if Sean picked a video yet. I don't need any of it. I don't need it on a video. Just love watching. Look at that monster. Sean, you're a monster. An absolute legend. Sean's becoming a legend overnight. See you all at 8 p.m. Cook says, thanks for the insight on Hunter IDP phone call. Smitty, appreciate you. Thank you, Cook. Appreciate you. Cook, let me know what you do. Call back and give us an update, maybe even before your draft, just a recap or whatever, what you're thinking. I'll be creating a video on this specifically because it seems like a good topic. And, drafting Hunter in round 1 does seem crazy to some of you. I get it, but what if he's as good as I say he's going to be wide receiver-wise? He's going to blow up that projection, bro. He's going to lambaste the projection and be the number 1 overall cheat code. Just make sure you're the commissioner. Make sure your scoring is assessing it appropriately, but I'm sure it is. See you all at 8 p.m. Thank you, Travis. Thank you, Blackbeard. Thank you, Space Ricky. Thank you, DeBalt. Thank you, Sick Nasty. Thank you, Vampy, if you're out there. Kenny Powers, if you're out there. Terry, if you're out there. I'll see you all at 8 p.m. Eastern. You guys absolutely rock. Do it live. Triple H and Associates in the building.
In a jam, call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, select, start.
Warning, warning. Cheat code activated.
We got 2 more super chats, I think. Or no, this is, let's see here. Clutch says 12-team PPR redraft, 2 flex, 1.2 spot. Mahomes, Knicks. Clutch, you still there? And then Cook, thank you for your super chat. So I think this is the last one. 12-team PPR, 2 flex, 1.2 spot. Mahomes, Knicks, Bijan, RJ, Garrett Wilson, Debo, Agbuka, Mason, Bigsby, Blue, Samson, Royals, Tesla, Bowers, Pitts, trade ideas. I love the team. I even like Kyle Pitts this year. Mahomes, Knicks. I like the team, man. My advice for you is to wait for Mason and Bigsby and Samson and Blue to gain some value. Otherwise, you're just kind of like pissing in the wind and maybe losing value by making a trade, because no one's going to respect these guys. Even though I love them, they don't have the high appeal of trade value. Like, people don't realize that they're going to blow up as much as I think they will. It's a great group. Bijan you could trade if you wanted, but I don't think you need to. But if you were to trade him for like Hendy and London or something, like, of course I would do it. But it would take Hendy and London to get rid of Bijan. You could try that, but I don't know that you need to do that right now. You might be able to do what we're talking about there in some sort of, Samson or Bigsby or Blue or Kyle Pitts, trade if Kyle Pitts is popping off. You got Bowers, obviously. You could maybe use some assets like that once they start doing well to upgrade Debo, to upgrade Garrett Wilson. Harvey, I don't even want to touch. I love your quarterback situation. Upgrading Agbuka, Debo, or Garrett Wilson later with Samson, Blue, Bigsby, or Pitts might be the only option for you. I would just stand pat on this team. It's a really good team. I don't think you're in any sort of rush. Appreciate you for dropping that. Are you still here, Clutch? Thank you for the super chat. I'll see you all at 8 p.m.